distant lands our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up a telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any topical issue of the day, and most of all, you can introduce your own topic. You can interrupt us at any time and introduce your own topic. You could get us on Sister Radio Karaku 92.9, Real FM 91.9, and we on YouTube and Facebook. We always encourage you to share our program. Like and share and subscribe to Real FM. That is always good for the station and for the program we have. So we encourage you to share it and like our program. You see, brothers and sisters, we have a beautiful democratic process in Grenada. And we have the infrastructure is in place. We have the freedom to use radio stations, to use programs to express our views and opinion. I believe that even the dull and the ignorant, they too have their story. We just encourage you to be respectful to each other. Let us be respectful to one another and express ourselves in the way we could. You don't have to swallow the grammar book to call this program. Just listen to me. You know that I don't swallow the grammar book. You know that my English is not good. That is not important. What we want you to do is to communicate. We don't have the means yet to accept sign language. But if we could, we would have gladly do it. So once we could cipher out what you're saying, we highly appreciate it. We're going to read some of your comments from Facebook and from YouTube, and you can give us a call. I thought it necessary to discuss a topic today, Imani. But I always encourage you to encourage your children to listen to the program too. And school is on holiday, so they could go and research what the word Imani means. You see, I think it's important because over the last 15 years, the Imani program has been the most battered program in this country. For over the last 15 years, it has been attacked mercilessly from the National Democratic Congress. The unions didn't help the program either. They took low pot shots at it. And even some people in the private sector and farmers, they attacked the program. You say it's a waste of time. You say send the people in the Imani program and work with farmers. What does Imani mean? Imani is a very positive word, a very positive energy. It means faith and belief. It is an Arabic word. And it means faith and belief. If you go back and do in history, you're going to see it in Swahili. Faith, belief, best wishes. So obviously, Imani is positive energy. The designers of this program, the architects of this program, the NNP, must have sat down and well thought out the name for an organization like that, for a group like that. We have a serious challenge in Grenada and most of the Caribbean islands. Unemployment among young people. The banks, the financial institutions, the organization, the University of the West Indies, the intelligentsia, they will tell you that there are jobs available, but those who are looking for the job do not have the skills and talents for the job. So from the time the Imani program began, over 3,000 Grenadian youths benefit simultaneously from that program. I've always been baffled and wonder, why is it this program has been attacked so much? I realize a new government come in power. A program that they had criticized for 15 years, they have to deal with it. It's over 3,000 people involved in that program. The National Democratic Congress says they want to reimagine the program. So I want you to encourage your children to Google imagine and reimagine. You see, the telephone in your hand is a library, is a resource center, is a university on its own. We who are elderly people may not know how to use it, but our children knows. So ask your children to find out the definition of the word imagine and reimagine. If after 15 years, a political party is criticizing a program as waste of time, then how they don't have a suggestion, they don't have an alternative, and all they could come up with is they go reimagine the program. Based upon a meeting held in Grenville, and had spoken to people involved in the Imani, that they intend to get rid of those over 35. And somebody sent me a post, say they have no intention of getting rid of the Imani. But already they classify that if you on 35 or under, you could be in the Imani. But if you over 35, you cannot be in it. And this is why I don't understand when people who knows better try to trick the unsuspecting. Imani has always involved people up to 39 years. And I wouldn't be surprised they didn't split here if it was 40. So now if a new government comes in and take a policy position that Imani will be 35 and under, what would they do with the people over 35? Because they told them over 35, you would get letters by the end of December because you cannot come back in January. And one of the individuals asked them, if I don't get a letter, should I come back in January? They didn't tell her, don't come back. You know. They say you will get a letter in December. Because she is 39. Then you make a statement, we are not getting rid of Imani. But if you decide that Imani have to be 35 and under, and you inform the people over 35, then you're splitting hairs. And it's a sad thing when intelligent people want to trick the unsuspected. I take the strongest objection to that. I believe that is one of the problems we have in Grenada. Some people believe because they have a briefcase, a certificate, they're smarter than everything else. And maybe other people born in Bao and christened in Mondo. So you could come across, you could use your phraseology, and you could use technicality to deceive and trick the unsuspected. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. We lost that caller. And I take objection to that. I believe this is one of the challenges we have in Grenada and the Caribbean. Too many people who could help raise the bar on the block is trying to deceive the people who have a low educational and social standard and economic standard. And I take objection to that. The National Democratic Congress had 15 years to come up with an alternative to the Imani program. To take a position, yea, nay, or to put what color you want, because in a lot of these things, it's not a clear line of demarcation between black and white. And after 15 years, the only storm I hear they're using, they want to reimagine the program. So that is why I ask you to go to the dictionary and find out what they mean when they say they want to reimagine. John Galt tell me they want to rethink. I say, well, they never think before, but now they want to rethink. So you might have a different view. There are some of the young children that could just talk to their phone. They don't have to write anything. They just talk to the phone and the phone answer. So that's why I always encourage parents, irrespective of how young your children is, they're using tablets in school. They're very knowledgeable, and they could help provide information for you. So the government introduced a program nearly 20 years ago, Imani program. During 2008, the government got rid of the Imani program. They closed it down. And they introduced another program with a long name. I can't remember it. If you remember the name, call me and tell me. I genuinely don't remember the name. So if you do remember, please call me and tell me. Or post it on the book, because I want to remember the name. But they re-employ less than half of the people that was involved. So now that they say they're going to reimagine the program, what were you doing all these 10 years you was in opposition? You knew that you hate this program. You knew that you don't agree with this program. You criticized the program relentlessly for 10 years. You apologized to the people involved in it. You told them you made a political mistake the last time. A political mistake, you know. So this time, you want to make them permanent. And now, the National Democratic Congress want to reimagine the program. And I watch with pride two individuals I had discussion with, politicos of the National Democratic Congress that I'm always in discussion with. They watch with pride when they tell me they're going to reimagine the program. I was shocked, because I really thought that when they speak into me, we have more respect for one another. So when you're speaking to me, particularly in the rum shop, anything shouldn't come out of your mouth. They say the government is going to reimagine the program. That is why I ask you to find the definition of the word reimagine and relate it to what they're going to do to the Imani program. After 10 years, the National Democratic Congress in the wilderness, and you have a program like the Imani program that is a thorn in your flesh, that you sat down and promised to make the people permanent. Now these people over 35 years are staring in the face of defeat. And the only thing you could come up with, you're going to reimagine. And remember, the word Imani means faith. It means hope. It means belief in yourself. It means peace. In Swahili, faith, belief, peace, wishes. I can't believe, I can't understand. Why is it an organization as powerful as a political party, opposition in waiting then, government no, cannot tell the people exactly what you intend to do with the Imani program? If you don't have ideas, keep it as is and continue the process of strengthening it. Let it go on and strengthen it. But while you're doing that, you should not fire the workers. I say that to provoke discussion among the hierarchy of the National Democratic Congress. Because if we could provoke discussion among them, we can save jobs. I'm saying to you, you do not have to fire the people. The economy at a 6% growth. You expect 3 to 4% growth again. So things ain't so bad. You expect a lot of money from the sale of passport. And I agree with you, sell passport. But why is it you think it necessary to fire, to get rid of the individuals who are involved in the program, who is over 35 years? We have over 600 people already unemployed, staring in the face of the Christmas holiday in the next 10 days, 10, 12 days, Christmas Day. While people eating ham, jam, and lamb and enjoying themselves, some of them will be worried that they cannot pay the bills in January. Some of them would not be able to buy toys for the children because they lost their job. Over 600 of them. And the news, the Christmas gift that you have for people in that program is you go reimagine. Reimagine. Big word. So I had to go to the dictionary. I understand imagine, but I didn't understand reimagine. John Gall tell me it's just rethink. But I said no. It have to be something more. So I encourage you to go to the dictionary or take your cell phone. Ask your children to Google. If you cannot do it for yourself, don't afraid to ask your children. It's you that buying the phone, get them. If they don't do it, either you don't give them money to put on the phone. Call them. Ask them to look up the meaning of reimagine. For 10 long years, members of the National Democratic Congress criticize, condemn a program while there was government in waiting. That is when you sit down and think about the alternative. Now that you have the power, you say you will reimagine. Reimagine. So I encourage our people to look at it. The Imani program provides an opportunity for people to get a second chance. You want to interfere with the psychic and the mentality of the members. So you give them a name, Imani. And Imani means faith. And it means belief. Believe in yourself and have faith. And you would hear me pronouncing it in all different kind of ways. Because there's a lot of different pronunciation for Imani. You could say Imani. And you could spell it with an E too. And even the A. You know? Because it is originated from Swahili and Persian. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. Well, I know this scholar may be having a slight challenge trying to get us and not getting us, and we encourage you to try again because we want to take your call. So we want, you see, that playing back with the fact that we have high unemployment in the Caribbean. Ask anybody that work in statistics, that work in any one of the banks, that any qualified teacher, ask any lawyer in Grenada. Over 60% of the people on the job market, the biggest challenge is they don't have the education and the skills to get the job available. Over 70% of the children exiting school don't have the basic education. So our schoolhouse is like a factory, pushing children out of the school system that is not prepared for the job market. The National Democratic members like to say, instead of giving people fish, teach them to fish. They like that. That when you send your child to school and your child exits school, that child should know how to fish. But if this schoolhouse, yes, caller, welcome. We have a challenge. We're not getting this caller, so let's just check and see if it's. Yeah? Yes, caller. Yes, caller, welcome. Just know when you touch something there. Okay. Yes, so we'll have to try again. We definitely have a little technicality this morning. Don't know if it is from our end, but 3 attempts by the public could well mean. Yes, caller.
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you, and go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre,
Go right ahead, caller.
I listen to the debate, and I listen to Dr. Mitchell. And I find Dr. Mitchell getting dumb and more dumb.
Why did you say that?
Dr. Mitchell said that he wants to see the conclusion of the cabinet thing. And he said the cabinet will show that $150,000 plus the commitment. The commitment is 140. So how that?
No, caller.
That's what he said.
Caller.
Yes.
You did not hear right. Caller.
He said that,
Caller.
He said that the cabinet will show $150,000 US plus the commitment. So when the commitment, $140,000, that commitment, so it come up to $290 US. So I don't know what you're talking about. You want to see the cabinet conclusion. That is the cabinet conclusion. $290,000. The guy laughing at Dr. Mitchell. He even said Dr. Mitchell go make a fool of you himself. He's laughing at him because he knows Dr. Mitchell is stupid. And I want Dr. Mitchell to apologize to the king for stupidity. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, caller. And you see, that is what is dangerous. I've heard a number of people. Dick Mitchell, I think people should go back to what Dick Mitchell said or the impression he gave the public. He gave the public the impression there was a cabinet conclusion that say $290,000 for the diplomatic passport or whatever. A cabinet conclusion that says $290,000. And from day one, he was asked to present the cabinet conclusion. And you know, for the unsuspecting and people who do not know, we have a caller on the line, and caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my lady, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank God for life. A little rain coming because we get a little sun for the 2 days.
And that's supposed to be very important. We always have to thank God for life.
The farmers and them could do a little to have food on the table.
Yeah.
But the thing is, every time the program starts, this man have a hatred for Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell is holding nothing for nobody. I don't know why you have so hatred on him for Dr. Mitchell. What Dr. Mitchell is saying, if they no figure, they will understand what he is saying. But they don't know when they can turn it all kind of different form. They know they could back it up. But when Kit Mitchell tell them what is what, they don't understand what he's saying. So they like vulgar. They like bribery. And they're not going nowhere with that. So tell them and say what Dr. Kit Mitchell is saying, right budget. Because the budget don't match the one what Dr. Mitchell is saying there. So I don't understand why they don't wash them out when people talk. Listen, spell if they can read. Spell and stop talking old talk for people. Have a blessed day.
Yes, thank you. And obviously, Dr. Mitchell will be criticized. Dr. Mitchell is the most successful politician in Grenada. He's the most successful political leader in Grenada and the Commonwealth. He is one of the only two political leaders that seek the interests of the people in the lower income group. He is going to attract criticism. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
This gentleman should ask Calista Faria also to retract what she said and apologize to Deacon Mitchell, because the same thing that Dr. Mitchell is saying is the same thing Calista Faria said. So why you only coming on Dr. Mitchell alone?
Well, the fact remains, caller, Deacon gave the public the impression that there was a cabinet conclusion.
Exactly.
And people say present the cabinet conclusion.
Exactly.
So he presented receipts where the individual paid the government. And he presented receipts where the individual might have provided donation for a political party. And that is legitimate. Nothing is wrong with that. So Deacon Mitchell should present the cabinet conclusion that say,
and that is what we want to hear.
$290,000 for it. 150 must go to the government, and you must pay 150. And you see, the money that was paid to the political party did not come from the government. It came straight from the individual, it seems. So that is the manner in which they twist the truth. But in this present day, they have to recognize that not because you're against individual, it doesn't mean they burn in Bao and christening Mondo.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so the individuals, and it is unfortunate, and it is sad, when the political party goes into power, and you are making mischief just to be vengeful. It is not necessary. The same thing was done in 2008. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes,
Mr. Pierre.
caller, welcome. Yeah.
Yes, very good program. I just want to second the callers before. Yes, the leader of the opposition asked to bring the cabinet conclusion, and that is what is asked, and they need to provide that information. Secondly, talking about the Imani. My heart goes out to the Imani, and I must compliment the former administration for that program, because I see the benefit of that program. When I listen to testimonials from these young people, you know, who have a second chance, who develop faith in themselves, and faith in God, you know. I'm really, really happy. When I listen to the young man from Carriacou, that the Honorable former MP for Carriacou and Petit Matnik, Elvin Nimrod, um, got that young man into the Imani program. And we will listen to the testimony of that young man. When the young man said, Mr. Nimrod took him out from where he was to where he became, you know. He used to go and take a little smoke and things like that. But when he went to the Imani program and the life skills that he learned there, the only time he goes to the police station, because he used to go there very regularly, the police to bring him there, is when he bring his keys for his business in that police station. And Mr. Pierre, when I heard that story of that young man, I feel pride and joy in my heart. Then there was another one that used to go to prison, so regular. And when he came from prison, he got in the money. And when, you know, the life skills that he learned, he said no way he going back to that prison because he has his son to look after. And you can see in those who tried in academics from secondary for TAM-CC, and today they earn bachelors in psychology and so forth. But there is a lot of fruits from that Imani program, and I ask that this administration rethink their position and continue that path, that good path of development with our young people, and continue the Imani program, the Empower program, because they're shaping the lives of the young men, the men and women for tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yes, Colin, I think it's important. I think the National Democratic Congress put themselves in a bind. You see, they criticize this program for 10, 15 years. So they believe now they must change it. Well, that's your fault. You got to have a conversion. The program is a good program. The program provides a second chance for people. That is why they named the program Imani. Imani means faith. It means belief. Believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. And we're going to give you a second chance. That's what the program is all about. And over 3,000 Grenadians benefited from that program. They had an opportunity to get, first of all, and most important, some money. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I want to ask the Prime Minister, Mr. Dick Mitchell, if the people that died, if they haven't got to get paid for the holiday too, because what I'm hearing, every time we find out, they say they're not paying the state as yet. I really want to know what's going on, because people have children that really need, and I want to know what's going on. Could you find out that first?
I didn't hear that last part.
The people that, the state, they're not paying the state, but the people, the estate, the people that dead, the people that died already, they're not paying them the reaction.
The pension?
Yeah.
No, they have to pay them. They have to pay the estate.
They're paying, but they don't know when they will pay on it.
Well, Deacon said they have the money to pay, so what is it now?
I don't know what is the situation.
The people who die, the estate have to get the money.
Yeah, but the people have children that need the money. So.
Well, you see, that is what happened when we give people the impression we could do everything with the stroke of a pen. That's a challenge, you know.
Now they're making all kind of excuses.
Now you realize that this thing moving to 200 million, and you can't do it again with the stroke of a pen, you might have to get 10 pen. And that's the challenge. But the estate have to pay, and these are the people that should be paid first.
That's what we say.
And more often than not, when you're dealing with these issues, you address those who have gone before. First, you pay the estates. Yeah. Yes, caller, thank you. Yes, yeah. So, the government, and I don't know, it's unfortunate, because the National Democratic Congress had this problem in 2008. They closed down the Imani program. They get a new name and they fire more than half of the people. Now today you decide that you're going to change the amount of years for youth. Nothing is wrong with that. The United Nations, based upon the United Nations, a youth is between 14, I think, and 24 or 25 years. Based upon most organizations, international communities, they consider youth up to 35. In Grenada, because of the level of high unemployment and the lack of ability of our people to be competitive on the job market, the NDC, the NNP, the new national party under Dr. Keith Mitchell, put Imani or youth up to 39. If the NDC believe that Imani is now 35 and they decide to get rid of everybody over 35, but yet then they could comfortably say, we're not going to fire Imani. But that is false. You're using, that is trickery. You're maneuvering with technicalities. You're not playing with numbers. You're playing with people. There's a big difference, you know. When you write a thesis on a book, you write a paper. This is real life. This is practical situation. You're playing with people's life. Somebody 39 years, 5 children, they involved in the program. They did the CVQ or whatever QVC. They did their exam, they tried. And you inform them that you're over 35, you have to leave. And they ask you, what happened if I don't get a letter? Should I come back in January? You're going to get a letter in December. And now you're making it that you don't find Imani. Well, yes, you reduce the age group, but you can't change the rules of the game in the middle of the game. What's wrong with you? You never play all fours? In Trinidad, 6. You getting 7 for it in Grenada. It's 7. You cannot change the rules of the game in the middle of the game. So the National Democratic Congress have to understand that. And that is dishonesty. I take the strongest objection when people from the higher echelons of society, the higher intellect, academia, sit down and try to trick the ordinary man. I put you in the same category with my brother Willie. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. I put you in the same category with my brother Willie. He felt he had radicalized. The last intellectual train for San Fernando. Willie can't afford to lose that train. So he wanted to put himself in a position so he could be seen by the National Democratic Congress and he may get a job in the front seat. So he attacked everybody. Keith Mitchell, Chester Humphrey, Emmeline Pierre, Delmar Church, up to Skeeter and all, Willie gonna attack. And when he done, he said the people in Real FM, the 3 men making noise. You know, the brother had to fight to be radicalized. Well, if you take Willie and you join the Prince of Hate and all these groups, what will happen to this country? You must speak up. And they will like us to shut up. Can't shut up. Because you're dealing with real people. You're dealing with real people. Yes, every program from time to time have to be reviewed, have to be strengthened. There are some people may have to come out of the program. You may have to add people on the program because life is dynamic. But you must always remember you're dealing with people. And based upon the history of the National Democratic Congress, the action in 2008, when they fired the workers on the estate, including Lord Tall and Shotty. You see, I repeat these things because people say it's not true. The young man come up to me and say 3,000 Grenadians did not go to jail. So I have to repeat this thing. I asked him to go and ask Tillman Thomas, ask Leslie Phillip, Kenny Lalsin, Kennedy Boudlal. Go and ask them. I cannot send him to Dr. Jensen Otway. He was in jail too. I can't send him to Dr. Japal. He was in jail too. So I'm sending him to those that are alive. So every Calypsonian in the Calypso wall knew Lord Tall was fired. None of them sang a song or lobby on his behalf. Thanks to Digale, the supermarket in Grenville, that gave him a job to arouse back his dignity, because he used to be drunk and crying because he lose his job. During the period of the homegrown structural adjustment program, the same period when we cut down Belvedere nutmeg to plant banana. And in this period, the National Democratic Congress is doing the same thing. That is why I encourage you, go and research the word Imani. See what it means. You don't take what I say for gospel. There's a number of people on radio and social media tawatting the truth. They're propagandizing. So when I speak, I want you to do a little research. Don't just accept me like that. So that's why I ask you to research the word Imani. And you could do it on your phone. It's from Swahili and Persian. It means faith, belief, Arabic, even in the Bible it is. So it's a word full of energy, positive energy. A good name to give an organization that seek the interests of young people, to give them a second chance. Faith, believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and we're going to provide the opportunity. And the opportunity was provided with basic money. They dress up, they go to work, they can get work experience. Encourage them to continue studying. A number of them took up the challenge and did the CVQ. Some of them went to SGU. A lot of them further their education. Some of them get opportunity to travel as far as China and Morocco. Some of them went to the agricultural college in Trinidad. You have a number of them in agriculture now as extension officers. They came in 15 years ago as Imani. And they branch off. Agriculture sends some of them in National College to turn full extension officers. Now this is the program that the National Democratic Congress, after 15 years attacking the program, they said they're going to reimagine. So I want you to go and look up the word reimagine. Look it up. Look up the word Imani and reimagine. You know? And I think that could help us. We have to understand that we don't have all the answers. But we have to be genuine. We have to prepare to be honest. I see my friend asking me about receipt. Honesto. Wouldn't say that the receipt is not enough when you and I know cabinet conclusion is classified document that cannot be given to the public. Mr. Pierre wouldn't say that the receipt is not enough. You see, these are some of the distraction tactics by my brother. He afraid to put his picture. He not using his correct name. He asking me for debate. He wouldn't pick up the telephone and call. And I always tolerate him and read his posts. What Dick Mitchell needs to do is to present the cabinet conclusion to the public, because he said there is a cabinet conclusion. In fact, he shouldn't even make a big ado about that, because this is a common feature where people from these wealthier people provide funding for political parties. Where you think political parties getting money to pay bus and buy jersey to bring the masses to the meeting? Businesses, companies, friendly political parties in the world, and wealthy individuals that fund political parties. They fund the NNP and they fund the NDC. It's a simple thing to ask Dick Mitchell if he knew where Mr. Tillman Thomas got his $50,000, I believe. He said he forgot the account number, but that was nothing. Anybody could forget. So if Uncle Tilly forgot the account number, he just put it on his till he remember the account number. Ask Dick Mitchell to stand up and tell the public where the NDC got money. You see, when the prime minister of a country speak, we must be able to trust his word. We must be able to believe what he says gospel. This is why I'm objecting. And you hear me speak about the Imani and contract workers and the women of Karakou and the women of Paul's regularly. Because these people believe Dick Mitchell then. He lured them with his words. He deceived them. And he said it was easy. We can do it with a stroke of a pen. He said the lawyer from the east go defend you. And the very said lawyer who said that it was illegal to give contract is giving contract. The very said lawyer who said it was lawless to give contract is giving contract. The very said lawyer who said that the previous government have you under contract to fire you when you want is firing you and giving you contract. So honesto, this is why I speak. I do not believe that our intelligentsia and our people who have advanced at the highest level in academia must deceive the people in the lower income group. And based upon the history of Grenada, and we must know that, I don't think we know it, only 2 political leaders in Grenada, only 2, have stood up and seek the interest in a very clear and dramatic way for the people in the lower income group. That is the liquor master Eric Matthew Gary and Dr. Kit Mitchell. Only these 2 political leaders. No others in Grenada have done that. None. The NDC have never even tried. Every time the NDC come in power, the people in the lower income group in trouble. From time to time, I'll discuss the budget and the program, taking different aspects of it. One of the clear ways in which the NDC in the budget seriously affected the people in the low income group is the taxation method. They provide relief for the businesses who owe government tax. They provide relief for the businesses who owe government tax. And in the same vein, they tax the people in the lower income strata. They put a tax that would affect the people in the lower income strata the most. The 600 people who lost their job, they did not have permanent jobs. They come from the lower income group. You see, you have to understand, over the years, they beat up on vulnerable. You see me hardly want to use this word. If you earning less than $3,000 a month, you poor. If your income is less than $3,000 a month, you're vulnerable. You're economically vulnerable. If your income is less than $1,000, you are destitute poor. You poor. If your income is less than $1,000 a month, particularly if you have children, you poor. You're in trouble. This woman have her children. I always try to make a joke, but I'm not good at it. And since I can't sing, because the radio station go fire me, so I try to make a dry joke. The woman have children who insist that she must get a television. They don't have television in the house. They give her all kind of reason why she should get a TV. So a single mother, and remember 60% of the household in Grenada are led by single mothers, single parent, particularly women. So she get up, she dress up Friday, she go in some action. By Tuesday, she get a brand new television. Latest model that the children asked for. She even get the model they asked for. When the children decide 2 of them succeed and want to go to college, and the mother says she don't have money, the children tell her, do the same thing she did when she buy the television. It's very difficult for us to understand the trials of the people who have children and they are not making $1,000 a month. And I think I will take some time and tell you all the people in Grenada who is working for under $3,000 a month. I think that might make people understand. Sometimes you see people looking well-dressed and you believe they're making money. But government has decided that we would not tax, we would not put personal income tax on anybody in Grenada whose income is $3,000 or lower, because they recognize for you to live a decent life, you ought to be making about $3,000 a month. So all people like cleaners, and I don't care where you clean now, people like cooks, whether you're working in government departments, cleaners, agriculture workers, people in stores, supermarket, gas station, all these workers are not making $3,000 a month. A lot of people in the media, they're not making $3,000 a month. So these are poor people. They're vulnerable too. No matter you see they're pretending. But I'll give you a new test. If you want to know if somebody asks them what is their income. A lot of people who don't making much money don't like to tell you what they're working for. So ask them. A lot of the auxiliary staff in the schools, the cooks, the cleaners, the security, they're not making $3,000 a month. A lot of people in the construction industry, they're not making $3,000 a month. So when you put taxes and the tax affect them the most, then you are putting pressure on the lower income group. Sometimes somebody might have a house. The house is is on their name. This house is built by accumulation of effort over a period of time. The children, the parents, the uncle, the nenen help them to build the house there. And then you have electricity, telephone, and water. And you have an idea what you pay for your utility bill. So if you're a single mother or a single parent, you are the one alone bringing in the income in the house, then you have a better appreciation for the word vulnerable or the word poor. Nothing is wrong with the word poor. Nothing is wrong with the word vulnerable. But because it has been so politically abused, I like to go straight to where it counts and say the people in the lower income group. And my qualifier, if you're not paying personal income tax in this country, it means you're broken. If you're not making $3,000 a month, it means you're broken. Sometimes you have a car, you can't put gas in it. And that is the economic reality. And as long as our politicians don't understand that, they will continue to use the disrespectful, dismissive, and disparaging remarks against their own people. They will continue not to understand the purpose, the objective, the significance, and the role of the Imani program. And it's going to be easy for them to fire people. And they would not understand what it means for 600 additional people who had jobs for 4, 5, 10, 15 years to be fired because a new government come in power who lack the ability to make new jobs. You see, you have to always think, and if the National Democratic members was not thinking for the last 10 years in a progressive way, it will be difficult for them now to think on the job. They're still looking for green blood to fire. They're still looking for corruption. They're still looking to lock up Kit Mitchell. So they lack the ability to think. So we have to encourage them to think. Because it is not financially necessary to fire people. You met a pregnant treasury. You met a Ministry of Finance on the high. You met a country with a low crime rate. So you could have built on what you met. But instead you choose to be vindictive and revengeful. And over 600 people have already lost their job. And we want to encourage you to always lean on your children. They are in school, they work with the computer, and they're able to assist you in providing information. We're back with you tomorrow again between 12 and 1 when we have another opportunity to punch.
Too hot, but we